Andre Dickens. I'm an Atlanta City Council member and I'm running for mayor of Atlanta. Working folks can't afford to live in the city of Atlanta because the cost of housing since 2010 has increased by 50%, but people's incomes have only increased by 10%. That means that they are cost burdened and it's making it difficult for them to afford to live in the city. With me as mayor, I'll make sure that we do unprecedented funding for affordable housing. A $250 million housing bond will be created. I'll set aside $10 million inside of the general fund every year for affordable housing, and I'll also find $10 million in new revenue for affordable housing that's recurring each year. Lastly, I'll also build on all of that AHA land that we have not, and the past two mayors have not built on any of those acres to any affordable housing. And so I will make sure that we build up to 20,000 and restore up to 20,000 housing units in 8 years. Because I know the affordable housing community, I've put on most of the policies that the city of Atlanta has had in the past 8 years as it relates to affordable housing. I know the affordable developers, the nonprofit developers, the advocates, all of the apartment associations that are willing to make affordable housing. I understand how to preserve affordable housing as well. I'll make sure that we don't turn into San Francisco. We want to make sure that the janitor, the school teacher, and the principal can live in the city of Atlanta that they serve. More density in some areas is going to help us to be able to provide more affordable housing. Part of our issue is we don't have enough housing in the city of Atlanta for all of these people that are attracted to this city. There are a lot of folks moving to Atlanta and we need more housing, and so therefore we need more density. We have land on the Atlanta housing property, so we need to build on that, and we do have vacant property around the city, a lot of abandoned properties and things of that nature, so I want to make sure we get rid of that blight by developing on those land. But we also can be denser in some areas, which will help us with our affordable housing and help us with our transportation. So these are things that I'm looking into right now as city council member, and I'll do so as mayor. Affordable housing helps us with our homelessness challenges that we have in the city of Atlanta. Some of the individuals are homeless because they couldn't afford the housing that they were living in. And so as the housing costs rise, as I mentioned, they're also finding themselves, their income is not matching up with their housing costs. And so what they do is they end up living on the streets of Atlanta after trying to make it in the city. But then we also have individuals who come here already homeless, because Atlanta is 10% of the metro area. People in Hall County or in Bartow County or Paulding County, those individuals experience homelessness, and they come downtown because that's where all the service providers are. That's where they can get a meal. That's where they can get the support system that they need. So some of our homeless challenges are not our own. They just end up being here, and that's what I've found as I go around this city each year, counting up how the homeless are living, where they are, and trying to get them shelter. I'm looking into creating a day shelter also, a place where during the day individuals experiencing homelessness can go get some care that they need, get training that they can have, and also get the services that they can benefit from. That can help them get back on their feet to find a job, because income and a wage will help individuals be able to move from emergency shelters that we have to some sort of transitional housing, and then onto their own property that they can live in. Right now, we are in a crime spike. This past year, since the COVID-19 virus has taken effect, a lot of individuals have come to our city, and a lot of lawlessness has started to happen. We're starting to stamp down on that crime, but we're also gonna, when I'm mayor, we're gonna make sure that this is a crime spike right now and not the new normal. We will get this under control. So my plan is the Safe Streets Atlanta plan. The S is the surge to hire 250 more officers in the first year, and up to 400 in the first 2 years. We're also going to make sure they're trained. All officers are trained in conflict resolution to make sure that we are sensitive to the communities that we serve in. And then we're going to also put in a non-emergency squad that goes out and handles mental illness issues, homelessness, public drunkenness, not just coming in with police power and guns, but to be able to deal with folks and get them to the services that they need. The A is to arrest the gang leaders that are preying on our children. We do have to say that we have a gang problem in Atlanta, and we have to solve that regionally. The F is to create a strike force to get all these illegal guns out of the city, and that's by working with the DEA, the ATF, FBI, and our federal partners. And then the E is to employ community-based policing. It is important that police have a presence in the city. A presence is the biggest deterrent for crime. So when if police are at gas stations, at shopping centers, at clubs and bars, if they're just around because they live in the city, because they're around, we can get them out of their cars and on foot so they can be able to deter crime. Last but not least, we have to invest in our youth. A lot of youth programs, STEAM and STEM, mentorship, entrepreneurship, which I know quite well as a business owner, and then also training people to go from poverty to prosperity, like I do every day with my technology career program, that I train people for free on technology jobs to get them $60,000 jobs per year. That's going to help us with our crime issue when we don't have so much of a tale of two cities, one that's prosperous and one that's poor. These things can help us fight crime. I'm a product of the Atlanta public school system, and I attended the great Benjamin Elijah Mays High School, and it got me to where I am today. And my daughter also attended Atlanta public school. So I will work closely with our school system, our school superintendent. When we lock arms together to be able to provide for our youth, the future then begins to get brighter for them, and the opportunities that we continue to attract here to Atlanta, we attract businesses, we attract headquarters and hubs, but we have to make sure that these kids are not forgotten and left behind. So I'll create a lot of programs similar to the ones I've already established. I created the Midnight Basketball program here in the city of Atlanta 3 summers ago, so that the youth can have a place to go from 7:30 to midnight to play basketball, because the rec centers closed at a certain time. And so I've added boxing to that. That's starting real soon. And then I've also created this program where we're teaching these water boys how to become true entrepreneurs, to have customer service, to understand revenue, profit, and loss, so that they're not just looking at their life as that they're going to sell water, but they're also going to sell real estate. They're going to sell all kinds of ideas that they have, and they're going to make real money in the future as entrepreneurs. So the youth are very vital to this equation of community that we're talking about. They're in this ecosystem, and we have to embrace them, and with me as mayor, we'll do just that. Part of the city of Atlanta is the culture. You know, a lot of things that we talk about is economic or public safety or housing, but we can't forget the richness of the culture of Atlanta. This is the place where we took over the music scene. We took over the TV and film. We've done so much in the creative art space. In fashion now, that's where we're headed. So Atlanta has to be preserved, and the future is even brighter when we include our youth. So there's a lot of nonprofit organizations as well as after-school programs that our school system provides that just need a helping hand. They need a boost, and they need the bully pulpit and the microphone of the mayor that says, this is important and this is something I want to invest in. And I also want to give you a pathway to some of the companies that are here that are in those spaces. So whereas when we have a SCAD sitting right here in the city of Atlanta, or the Art Institute and Atlanta Technical Colleges, all those working together to be able to say that arts and technology go together hand in hand, the digital economy that we're dealing with, all that is some space that I know very well as a technician.